Creative Katie here with an index card a day, number 55, Splish Splash. Lower right hand corner, hit the subscribe button, and you won't miss any other videos. So on my gesso card, I'm just applying an assortment of blues and purples and teals, just with my brush, randomly. I'm not cleaning off my brush in between. I'm trying to get the different colors and the different layers. I want a thick amount of it on there for the technique that I'm going to use. Of course, I had way too much paint, so you see me pushing it off onto a coffee filter. And I'm adding some of this dark Prussian blue, my favorite color. And here is the embossed cardstock. And when you press into wet acrylic paint, you get the pattern and the texture. It is a great technique to use. So I have a couple of pre-stamped Crazy Birds, Tim Holtz's Crazy Birds. And I don't have the stamps with me where I am right now, but I had a couple of these in the stash, so I decided that I'm going to color them. Now I attempted first to color them with my Inktense blocks, and that would have worked if I had gessoed it first. But I found that it just soaked into the paper, and it was really hard to get the colors that I wanted. So in a couple seconds, you're going to see me, basically blot this off and go in with the Dilutions paints. Never be afraid to stop and turn around and go back to go. So there you're going to see me applying it with a makeup sponge. And I'm going right over the eyeballs and everything. Now if I had this at home, I could stamp again and you stamp out the eyeballs and then have them little pop dots, making them look kind of 3D, but I don't have the stamp with me. So I'm going to deal with that in another way. I'm going to paint the eyeballs white. So I'm back to using my Inktense blocks, but now that the acrylic paint has sealed the paper underneath, I'm able to blend and get the colors that I want. So I'm just putzing around, blending, more water, more ink, more, till I just get something I like. So here I'm painting it with white gesso, painting the eyeballs to get rid of the yellow and get the white of the eyeballs to really pop out. And with the stylus, just applying the blacks, and there you go. Perfect treatment of the eyes. So I stamped the umbrella onto a coffee filter that had soaked up some unused paint at another time. And this is a stamp that I got at our dollar store. So I want to put the umbrella, and so I decide that I'm going to cut his wings so that he can actually hold the umbrella. The word Splish Splash was actually one stamp that I cut into two so that I could have more ability to where I wanted to put it on the card. So now that I'm sure that everything is going to fit, I'm getting out my silver paint. But before I do that, I'm deciding, in case I make a mistake, I'm going to put a layer of gel medium down. That will mean that if the stamp doesn't work, if I take a baby wipe, I can get rid of it pretty quickly without upsetting the layer below. So while I had the gel medium down, I just glued down the bird. So back to stamping the stamp, and I'm applying silver paint with a makeup sponge and just pressing it on. As you can see, some of it, because of the design and pattern, doesn't show up. But once I dry this, I'm just going to go in with the silver paint or my silver gel pen. Just adding the feet in by looking at where they were and using my Posca pen to outline the bird. I could have taken afterwards, and I'm looking at this and I don't believe I didn't I can't believe that I didn't do it. I was going, I always outline everything with the Stabilo all pencil, so you get that shading. And I didn't do that to the bird or the envelope, but I could go back and do it. So here's my Sakura Jelly Roll pen, and I'm just making the letters stand out a little bit more. In choosing the color of the bird, I went with things that were across the color wheel, from the blues and the teals, and that would be the yellows and oranges. So I have some silver elsewhere, so I'm just going to add a little bit more into here, going around in my usual dot, dash. Just adding a little bit more detail. Decide to outline the umbrella with black. And then I go over it with my white gel pen as well, which I like better, as you can see in the finished copy. Splish Splash. Thank you so much for joining me on my little index card a day journey. Please check out the other videos in my channel.